Well, thank you for checking out this conversation. I'm actually with my friend Nathan. Nathan, thanks so much for hanging out with us right now.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone, and hi, Jay, and thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit of a different conversation, but what I really wanted to do is that I've met people like Nathan and others of kind of seeing what God is doing around the world with technology and doing ministry online. And Nathan has been one of the forerunners of this. Some of the stuff he can't even talk about, but it's just like it's really cool what God has been doing through you, Nathan, and different people you work with. But let's do this. So talk a little bit about how has technology positively impacted the country of Iran? And okay, side part. I know I'm super American, so it's Iran. What's the right way to say that?
Good question. Okay, so we start with the pronunciation. Iran. Iran is the right
Iran.
pronunciation. Yes.
Iran. I have probably said that incorrect to you like so many times. Iran. Okay, so how has technology positively impacted the country of Iran, and what are churches and ministry doing within the country? Because I think in America there's this, we're kind of taught that Iran is like this very different, foreign, kind of scary country. But obviously, there's Christianity started in that region. There's churches that have been there longer than churches in America. I mean, God has not left that country. So why don't you talk a little bit about what is happening with technology? What is God doing there? And we'll kind of just start there.
Awesome question. Thank you, Jay. And I think this is the best way to start if we can talk about the culture first and about the media that we have here in the United States. Unfortunately, all the news and all the things that we mostly see and hear in the news is bad news from Iran. But this is not reality. We have a great people that they love Americans. They love American churches. They love to communicate, and especially the young generation. They are really high tech. They love technology. They use internet a lot. They are all over the social media, and they use almost all the social media platforms that we are using here in the United States. And so they love to communicate. So I encourage all of my brothers and sisters in the U.S. that first try to notice people. So it's good for us to educate ourselves about this culture, not only Iran, in the Middle East and all over the world. If especially you guys that have heart for mission. So it's important to know the people first. This is the first step. Know the culture first. But okay, let's get back to technology and internet.
Yeah.
It's almost about 18 years that I've been serving the Lord in house churches in Iran, inside of the country and outside of the country. Almost around 10, 11 years inside and 7, 8 years outside of the country. So I know these people are so hungry, and I know most of them, about the situation in Iran now. Christianity is not legal if you are a MBB, Muslim background believer. You cannot attend building churches. So the building churches is only for Armenian and Assyrian people. So if you talk in Farsi or Persian and you are a Muslim and you convert to Christianity, is completely illegal and you cannot go to any church.
And so that's literally you have to just follow whatever your family follows.
Exactly. So, but for instance, for me and my family, we are all MBBs, Muslim background believers. So you have to be in a house church. You have to be in an underground church, worship the Lord secretly. So I have this experience for almost 10 years. But during all those 10 years, thanks God for all the pastors, for the ministers, those guys and those men and women of God. They are doing an amazing job. They are really bold, courageous, and I really admire them. But another thing that helped me really to grow was technology, was internet, was all the media that I used to receive, Christian satellite TVs, internet, Facebook pages, all the social media platforms that now I myself am using to bless these house churches. So, Jay, the population of Iran it's mostly young people. So it's a
Uh,
young country, and the technology is growing really fast. And by the way, Iran is one of the fastest growing churches in the whole world. In I think, if I'm not
wow.
mistaken, in 2015, the Operation World gave this based on the research that with a 19.6% of growth, Iran is the fastest growing church in the whole world. So there are many people that they are hungry for God. So this is our mission to share this great news with them. Because it's illegal to share the gospel, the best way to reach Iranian people, to reach Muslims in Iran, is internet, is social media, is satellite TVs. So I just want to encourage you guys that just it's good for us to start to understand that how media and how social media can impact our nations. And we can see the political examples all around the world that
Yeah.
how nations are changing through social media. But why don't we use it as a church?
Yeah.
Glorify God.
Yeah. So I had heard or read somewhere that, in America they call it like the greatest generation, because we lost 1 million people or so from World War II that came back, and one of the reasons why there's so many young people was because of that Iraq Iranian war. Is that one of the reasons that there was a lot of people that died in that battle, and essentially that led to, I've heard the number as high as 60% or under 35, something like that.
It was
So
a huge number.
yeah, which is interesting because you can see obviously where we're different as countries, but also similar, and how war does change a country, and that's one of the things that changed America was that war, and then you see it there. Okay, well, another question I had is, so with technology, what does the church rely on, like just on a base level? What does a normal church? And I know you're going to have maybe more traditional churches that may not want to use technology, and you're probably going to have super innovative churches that are going to want to super rely. But a normal church in the country, what does relying on technology really look like? I just want to let people know in on, like, are they using email? Are they using Facebook? I've heard about Telegraph is really big within the country. Like, tell me what does that actually look like to a normal church?
Yeah, actually, based on a research that just actually BBC Persian released, Telegram is the first platform that Iranian people are using, and the second one is Instagram, and the third one is WhatsApp, and also they use a lot of, they have a lot of users in Twitter, Facebook, and in YouTube. But Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube are, because of the filters and all those
Yeah.
um, limitations, and the low speed of internet in Iran, it is really hard for people to use Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. But Telegram and Instagram, these guys are
Yes.
doing a great job. So now people want us as a church especially in the Western countries to feed these house churches. They need more materials. They need more. I don't know. Encouraging videos. They more courses. So what we are doing, my friends and I also in one of our websites that it actually belongs to our ministry, Discipleship for Iran. We are
Yeah.
trying to resource people. We are trying to encourage them because, Jay, this is very important for us to know that we live in a world that Christianity is prohibited and also persecuted in many countries like Iran. So when people can't go to a church, they need a house church.
Mm.
When they don't have a pastor available, so they need a virtual church. They need
Mhm.
technology. They need internet to use it and to grow. So it's interesting that in our situation in Iran is going to this direction, that we're going to have more and more isolated Christians, maybe a single guy or single lady or maybe just a family, because of the security, they don't want to have a lot of people inside of the house. So maybe it's just a father, mother, and the children, and they are a church, so
Yeah.
they can use this material. So that's why um, we are in discipleship for Iran. We go live each Sunday, a church service for people, and during the week we have our classes, so that they can feel they are a part of a
Yeah.
community. So our goal is to make an online community for these people and encourage them that you are not alone. So if we can do it as a Western church here in the United States, this is a great victory, not only for Iran. We
Yeah.
need it here for United States and other countries as well.
Which I love. And that's something that, I know the American church specifically is always has struggled with is, well, we don't want to leave somebody online. We want to drive them to physical community. But I know as I've had conversations with people, even in America, that there are places and reasons why people can't get to a physical church. And this is one of the most extremes of literally, and I've talked to a few people, but just hearing like, if a person comes to faith and they're in a Muslim family, like they literally can't change that. Like they literally can't go, like it's on, in some countries it's actually on their ID. Like they would have to change everything and risking their lives. And what do you do with that person? In technology, this virtual community is such a powerful way to provide the big C church to them, no matter where they're at. And the hope is obviously that, and I know this is you have that pastoral heart that you want them to have physical community, but that's not always an option, right? Like there's real realities there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a big, huge need, and um, you are my friend. You know me. I just shared with you that there are a lot of people contacting us, asking for help, asking for more materials, asking for more Bibles, and talking about the Bibles. This is a great blessing for us that we can just tell them, okay, you guys can go to this website or to that website and download the Bible, or we can have the Bible on your cell phones. This
I
is a
know.
huge thing. So thanks God, praise God. Every day I thank God
Mm,
for technology. I thank God for internet. I thank God for my Bible app on my cell phone. These
yeah.
are great things and great tools that church needs to update itself and then use it. And they we as ministers that you're receiving benefits from all these things. We need to, I think this is our mission, to teach it to other people, to teach it to other churches and other ministers to use it as well, to reach more people. Because when I'm sitting here at my home and sharing gospel with one of my friends, if I just go live on Instagram and thousands of people in Iran can hear about gospel, such a huge blessing, such a great encouragement and excitement in my life. So um, thanks God for the
Yeah.
technology.
Well, to share real quick. So, like one thing that was super interesting me as I was hearing more about what God was doing in the country. Talk a little bit about the. I feel like Iranians are the savviest with VPN. Like I like they know how to. So VPN is a virtual network, a private network where you can scramble
Yeah.
your address. And so like sure, real quick, so like you don't have to share data, but like is that true? Do you feel like Iranians are some of the best with how to get around because they know that the government is watching them, but they've already come to that realization. They just know how to do it, right? Like I feel like if I talk to the average American, they would go, like, "What's VPN?" But I feel like if you talk to the average person under 35 in Iran, like they
Yeah.
would go, "Oh yeah," like they probably have three of them.
Exactly. They have a couple of them. And if the government block a website or something, they will find a way. Sure, they will find a way. So
Yeah,
we don't have any concern about this part. So thanks God that they know how
yeah,
to use them. And there are a lot of different companies and ministries that provide even new VPNs for them. So to use
yeah.
more VPNs. So yeah, they know how to find it.
Which is great because it just shows the savviness of a generation that you just get. I get scared with my kids of like, oh man, I'm pretty good at technology, and I'm like, if are they gonna get better than me? And in my head, I think no, but I'm probably wrong. They will get better than me. But yeah, so talk a little bit about just two more questions here. One is, what does the future of the church look like within Iran, and then also are you excited for that future?
I am super excited. I am super
Mm,
excited, and I can't wait. You know, each day is a great day for me that I can connect with these amazing people inside of Iran. And whenever I have my online classes, I can't wait for the next.
mhm,
And It's a huge blessing. And about the future, I know for sure that this great population, evangelical population in Iran, that is growing really fast, and especially among the young generation,
mm,
it's growing and growing and growing. So this is a huge responsibility for us as the church, as the body of Christ. Not only the Iranian ministers, also our American brothers and sisters, the Western Church. I think this is our mission that God has given us to support these people with prayer, with everything that we can do, and just help them to grow, even in one isolated Christian in a very small city in Iran, because thanks God we have internet even in small villages in Iran. So this is a
mhm,
great opportunity for us that we can use as the body of Christ to reach these people, to reach these Muslims that they are hungry for God, and they are unreached people. They, some of them, they have not never ever heard anything about Jesus Christ and gospel. So
yeah,
when for the first time that we share all these great things with them, they get so excited. They just want to know more and more. They ask for more information. They ask to have a Bible. So the future of Iran is amazing. It's so exciting, and but this our role here is really vital, that we can use all these technology and all these platforms to support these people and tell them that they are not alone, even the isolated Christians. And this is a great privilege for me that actually my friends and I in Discipleship for Iran, to tell them that we stand with you, and we can grow with each other. And if you know, if you come and check my cell phone every day, I receive a lot of messages from Iran that sometimes they encourage us. They encourage us that, okay, Nathan, you're doing a great job. Just stand, continue what you're doing, and this is a huge blessing. This is that community that I just mentioned. We were talking about it. This is a community. This is a blessing that through internet and social media we can have a global church. Thanks God for this global church.
I love it. And Nathan, I've always been encouraged by sometimes what happens is you tend to have a person or a pastor that is super strategic and maybe teacher and sometimes not pastoral. And I think just as you were saying that you're getting private messages from people, I could tell I love your balanced approach to this. That and also it's not just all online. It's about, hey, let's do what we can where people are at. But I'm really encouraged for just hearing what God is doing in the country, outside the country, because there are Iranian first off there's persons everywhere, and God is doing some powerful things, there in Turkey, in America. There's all sorts of stuff going on. But I just love how God is using technology and how online ministers like you and I can be part of the same church.
Yeah.
So if an American or somebody else outside of the country wants to support the efforts or just to stay engaged, do they just go to discipleshipforiran.com and just follow you on Instagram and all that to kind of stay engaged?
Yes, that's actually that's the first step. The best way to check out discipleshipforiran.com. And also we are in Instagram and in Twitter and Facebook. They can just search Discipleship for Iran and find us. And also my private social media platforms, if they want to contact me, if they have any questions.
Perfect.
Nathan Rostampour on everywhere.
I know, yeah, 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 everywhere, literally everywhere. I'll put all the links everywhere
Yeah.
on YouTube or on my site. But Nathan, man, thank you so much for everything you're doing. And
Thank
I
you.
know there's a lot of pastors of online ministries in America that are like, okay, this is encouraging because I need to get this in line. If you can do that there, then I should be able to do this here. So thank you so much for giving up some time right now to kind of have this conversation.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me. And at my last word, we do need your prayers. We do need your prayers, especially our brothers and sisters in Iran that they are under persecution. Every day I receive messages that please pray for us, don't forget us. And so I encourage my brothers and sisters in the United States in our churches that please remember Iran and Iranian people. They are hungry for God. They love you. They want to communicate. They want to change a lot of things. They want a bright future, and we are praying for them. So let's stand together and share the gospel with this lovely people, and share the gospel also with Muslims all around the world. God is a good God, and thanks so much, Jay, for this opportunity that you're sharing with others, so that we can share this prayer requests, and also these thanks for your encouragement.
For sure, I just will close on that I think we definitely need to be praying for that. And I think if anything, there's a lot of conflicts that I feel like we were raised here in America that we thought would never end.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most recent one is the tension between North and South Korea. And the prayer is that's coming to an end at some point, that there will be some kind of unity, or at least some kind of change. I think the same thing's true with Iran, that is no longer seen as a place we cannot go, and it's distant. That there's travel and it's open. It's a beautiful, from what I've been told, it's a beautiful place to go to. And so like some of those things aren't natural. And I pray that the church, I know the church is and will be a big part in that door being opened, and there needs to be changes on both sides. And I'm praying that tension kind of just breaks down. So, but it starts with people like you and I having conversations, encouraging the global church, and letting people know, like, hey, there's Christians there, and God is working, and specifically reaching Muslims in some big ways. And so, thanks, Nathan, for taking some time.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much for having me. God bless.